Hey, what's going on, everybody? We are out here doing another video outside of Aliceville, Alabama at Old Bethany Church. It's a primitive Baptist church, here to visit the grave of a Revolutionary War hero, James McCrory. Now, if you don't know that name, that's okay, because I just learned about it not too long ago. And he was George Washington's bodyguard during the winter at Valley Forge, and he fought in a bunch of other battles, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. So I could not come down here. I had to, once I found out about it, I had to come, visit the grave and, pay our respects and do the things that we do. So let me get the ad out of the way and say, if this is your first time here, welcome. I hope you enjoy the content. If you do, please consider liking, subscribing, sharing, doing all the things. And if this isn't your first time here, hey, welcome back. I hope you enjoy the video. And now that the ad's out of the way and we know who we're here to see, let's head towards the cemetery over there and talk a little bit about his life, celebrate what he did for the country, and check out any other cool graves along the way. So yeah, let's do it. So we've parked, right over there and walk up. We've let ourselves in. Now, McCrory saw action in an incredible number of Revolutionary War famous battles, and he served as the bodyguard to then General George Washington before he had reached his 20th birthday. His impressive military resume would seem to make him a staple in American history books, but very few people outside of Pickens County, Alabama, really know his name. Aren't these beautiful? Elizabeth Taylor, isn't that? So it's a very common name, I know, but still the famous one, McCrory lived a varied and interesting life before settling here in Alabama. He was born in a tiny village in Ireland in May of 1758, and he came to the colonies when he was 17 years old, along with his brothers. His ship sailed out of Belfast, and he set foot on American soil in Baltimore on July 1st, 1775, where he headed to South Carolina and settled in North Carolina shortly thereafter. Some really beautiful stones here, aren't they? 51 years, 6 months. During this time, the colonies were going through the revolution. Taxation without representation, right? And as an immigrant, he agreed with a lot of these ideals that were shared at the time. On April 15th of 1776, he enlisted in the Continental Army for 3 years. Here's another weeping willow, like the lady buried in the rocking chair, how she had the weeping willows. He initially served as the company sergeant under the command of his brother, Captain Thomas McCrory, as part of the 9th Regiment of the North Carolina line, led by Colonel John Williams. The regiment marched north and joined General Washington's command at Middlebrook in New Jersey on June the 6th. For the next 5 years, McCrory seemed to be in action at particularly every major battle of the Revolution. He fought at the Battle of Brandywine under General Washington and at the Battle of Germantown. For his performance on the battlefield, he was promoted to the rank of Life Guard of General Washington, and he also served as one of Washington's personal bodyguards during the brutal winter of 1777 to 1778 at Valley Forge. The British captured him and held him prisoner for months, and only his underwear on one of their ships anchored a safe distance from shore. With each passing month, his Irish blood boiled. One night he jumped overboard and swam through the icy waters to shore. Shortly after his escape, He rejoined the Continental Army and served under General Greene at the Battle of Guilford. He was honorably discharged in the spring of 1782, ending his military career. Sometime around 1820, when he moved his family, which had grown to 12 children, they moved to Alabama. In 1826, McCrory started buying land in Alabama, and over the next 10 years, he purchased a total of 840 acres near the town of Vienna in what is now Pickens County. McCrory lived with his son Robert in Pickens County, and on June 13, 1829, he was finally granted his military pension based on his war service. The latter years of his life were quiet, and it appears that he lived off his pension and cotton farming. And on November 24th, 1840, McCrory passed away at the age of 82. And here we are. The McCrory grave, who departed his life November 24th, 1840, age 82 years and 6 months and 9 days. The deceased was a soldier of the Revolution and was the battles of Germantown, Brandywine, and Guilford Courthouse. He was one of Washington's lifeguards at Valley Forge and served his country faithfully during the war. Peace be to the soldier's dust. Alright, so that's it, right? There's the bodyguard of George Washington. Like, how cool. Like, he was entrusted. He wasn't like, he was still a child, like 20 years old. And they're like, yeah, we want you to guard the general of the Revolution during Valley Forge, which was, I mean, if you're not, hip to history, like, that was one of the most brutal winters that, they went through. And there was, it'd be kind of cool. One day we're going to go up there, me and you, we're going to go do Valley Forge. But it was a brutal winter, and he was entrusted to make sure the president was okay. He was one of the first, I guess, government bodyguards, right? Pretty cool stuff. And then on top of it, once his service was over, like, he caught grief trying to get his pension. Like the government didn't want to pay him for his service, and it was a whole process he had to go through to even get his money that he, so deserved. And then on top of it, he was in those 3 major battles that we talked about, like huge, footnotes in American Revolutionary War, like, history. So I think there's one more spot I'm going to walk over and look at, and then we're going to see what else maybe we can see in the cemetery before we go, because there are some. This is a very, it started in 1830, so it's very historic. I mean, you can see, we looked at, like, Elizabeth Taylor, and you've got all of this stuff. Yeah, so let me get out of all this. This grass is up to my shins, and my shoes are all wet now. So now it's time to go walk in the woods and get even dirtier. So yeah, I'll see you in a second. Alright, for the last thing, I'm going to try to walk. We're going through the woods, and if there's any briars out here, I ain't playing that. We'll just kind of look at a distance, Let's see what we got. Oh yeah, look, there's stones way out there. Like, I saw another one out there. Right there.
This is a nice stone.
Yeah. I don't know who that belongs to. I really should have wore pants if I knew we were going.
I wouldn't know if I
But I'm going to zoom in, but you can see they go as far as, I mean, there's some over there.
Probably what you see cut, probably something.
Yeah, well, you can see over there some, and over here some.
Over there.
Does that one have a date on it?
Yeah, it takes 1/18 James P.E.E.
Yeah, I'm not going to go much further.
Anyway.
Well, we made it out here, at least a decent little ways.
Somebody saw that first.
Yeah, and right in through there, you can see one over there. Supposedly, what I was reading is there's a slave graveyard out here, but I think if we come back to do the slave graveyard, I gotta get prepared for that.
We got here too early in the year.
Yeah.
Late in the year.
Yeah, if we would have came,
Like this time last month.
yep, it would have been a different story. Because yeah, you can see that. Oh yeah, see, it's even on the newer ones, it's growing up. I wonder what the deal is with that. I wonder why they're letting that go.
Well, they probably just let you come here to cut it and fix it.
Yeah. That's just 1892 to 1965, so that is a relatively newer grave. While, you know, those are okay, but yeah, so God only knows what's out here. Yeah, look, there's a stone way out there.
Yeah, this is a big cemetery.
Yeah. Oh, this one's even got you can see it's got a marker on it, or it's got
3 or 4.
Yeah.
And it's probably all through there.
Oh yeah, you just can't get to it.
Everybody even put a top on this one.
Yeah. So yeah, see. So yeah, that was a little bit of.
Just grow up for years of what you've done.
Yeah.
And cut this timber.
That's a little bit of extra that we just stumbled upon while we're out here. So yeah, maybe this winter we'll come back once everything's dead and it's a little bit easier to go through. And I'll wear actual pants. I bet there's a really good chance that I've walked through poison oak. That'd be my luck.
You got chiggers.
Yeah, I got some good chiggers or whatever. I'll have some good bites, you know. Look at this will be our last little thing right here. These are very creative, to say the least, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes
You got to do what
you got to do what you got to do, right?
This woman lived a long life.
Yeah. Just write it on there. Nothing fancy. It's not like she's here to care about it anyway, right? This whole cemetery's like growed up. Like, dang, man. Yeah. That's for sure. So yeah, thanks for watching. Yeah, don't forget, you know, I have a little member section where you just click join and help pitch in and all that stuff, and if not, that's cool too, but I always try to put that out there, you know. It helps me get to these places and do the things that we do. God, these gnats. I swear I just ate one. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hey, a little bit of exploring out of nowhere. That was kind of fun to do. We got to come back. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. And like legit, you never know what you're going to find on the back roads. We'll see you guys next time.